Women don't suck. You're just operating at a low frequency. In this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly why you have been brainwashed into thinking that women are manipulative, that women are mean, that women want to see you lose when it comes to dating. And what is the correct way to view dating? And what do we need to do to become the man that gets the women that you desire? I was not always good with this. I had so many troubles attracting women, especially in college. I remember when I first left my girlfriend at the time because I wanted to get more dating experience because I wasn't that attracted to her anymore. It was very difficult because I would go on a date and it would just be kind of friendly, and then I'll go on another date and it went well, but I didn't think she was that attractive. And then this one attractive girl, I just never got her, and all this mess happened that put me into a position where I wanted to get better at dating. You might be in a similar position where for whatever reason, you want to get better. However, here's the danger. The danger is there's this big side of YouTube. It's actually called Red Pill, right? And you might have seen some YouTubers here. I'm not gonna call out any names because I'm not trying to talk shit about them. But what I am trying to do is highlight how and why I think they are very wrong about women. And if you have any negative notions about women, I'm telling you right now, you are wrong. This is not the way to think about women. If you come at women with hate, if you get into this journey from that position, you're gonna repel them. Trust me. There's nothing more unattractive than a man who, oh, sorry about that, guys, it's my dog. There's nothing more unattractive than a man who hates women. It's just so unattractive. It shows that you have bad experience with them. Red Pill insult women. They talk bad about women, saying that they're manipulative, saying that they are irrational, saying that they would leave you like this if they found a man with more money or better looks or whatever it is. And then basically to not take women seriously, to not respect them, and instead just focus on money, focus on your looks, focus on your business, and then they will come to you. That's what Red Pill says. And I'm sure maybe if you don't even know what Red Pill is, I know you've heard similar advice of men telling you things along the lines of, don't focus on women, focus on you, they'll come to you. It's partially true. You still need to get dating experience. You still need to learn how to talk to women in a way that gets them attracted to you. A lot of you men don't know how to do that. And you think that just getting money and improving your looks will solve the equation, but it won't. Because you still need game. You still need that. That is a separate thing in itself. Before I get into that, let me talk more about the misconceptions of Red Pill. Because another thing they say is that women are manipulative and women want to make you, that women are out to get you. That's kind of like the mindset. They lie, they will cheat on you. That's another lie. Women don't just do that blatantly. And here's the caveat. Any woman that will cheat on a man, or any woman that will lie to you, or any woman that does anything blatantly negative in a relationship or towards men, they do that because of a bad experience they've had with a male in the past. That's something that Red Pill doesn't talk about, which is this idea that the only reason a certain woman will be very, I'm trying to think of the word, I guess you could say malevolent. The only reason they'll be this way is because they either had a really bad childhood with their father, or they had a really bad relationship in the past, or they just have some bad experience with men in the past. That is what will cause women to act out of their true feminine nature. So in a way, it's not women's fault. It's the man's fault. And that's the theme of this video, which is women don't suck. It's you. You suck. But let me get into what's frequency. Your frequency is what you frequently see. What does that mean? That means that if you are frequently seeing negativity in the world, that doesn't mean the world is a negative place. If you're frequently seeing negativity in women, that doesn't mean women are negative people. That just means you're in a negative state. That means you have negative frequency. That means you're operating from a negative vibration. That is how this world works. You ever been so happy, in such a good mood, that next thing you know, you're social with people. Next thing you know, you're more happy with other people. You're more friendly. You're more willing to help people. You're more willing to interact with the world. You're more willing to do work. And then vice versa. You ever wake up and you're in a shit mood? You don't want to talk to anybody? You don't want to work? You don't want to do anything? That's because you're operating at a low frequency. But you might be asking me, how do I get out of this so I can start seeing the world in a better light, so I can start seeing women in a better light? Well, let me tell you. There's a thing called a frequency chart that explains to you what frequencies there are. I'm not gonna go through every single emotion, but I'll tell you the main ones. So the bottom, we have shame, we have guilt. Shame and guilt is the worst emotion you can feel. And then a little bit higher, we have anger. This is where a lot of red pill content stems from. It grabs onto the audience by touching on their anger points, right? And a lot of you men might have some anger towards women. I'm telling you, it's a low frequency. It's pretty low on the chart. But if you go higher, there's higher frequencies. The highest one is love and peace, for example. But ones that aren't that high, that are still high, like the beginnings of the really high area, is courage. Courage is an amazing frequency. Courage and pride are the beginnings of good frequencies. So why is this relevant with women? It's relevant because if you view women and the idea of dating with fear, which by the way, I didn't say this, but fear is a frequency that's right below anger. So it's also a low frequency. If you view dating from a fearful place and you think you're gonna lose money, you think you're gonna get hurt, your heart's gonna get broken, women are gonna try to manipulate you, a girl's gonna try to cheat on you, whatever. If you have fear towards rejection, towards negative experiences with women, if you operate from that fear, if you listen to that negative vibration, then you will forever be stuck in this cycle of getting bad reactions and getting bad experiences in life. You need to learn how to boost your frequency and thus change the actions in your life. And also, actually, even better said, you need to learn how to not act off your frequencies. So even though you have anger and fear towards women, it doesn't mean you have to avoid dating. A lot of men I talk to on my DMs or people that I've talked to on certain calls that they're not my clients yet, they will tell me things like, hey, I'm just focusing on money. I'm focusing on business right now. I'm not really focused on women. And to me, this comes from a fearful place. Because it makes me think, well, why don't you go on a date? Why don't you go up to the girl you like? Why don't you go for that girl you want? Because I know you do want that girl. If you could press a button and you get the girl of your dreams, I know you would have her. I know for a fact. In fact, I would argue the reason you're focusing on the money and everything is because you want that girl. And you think you're not enough without the money, without whatever you're focusing on. So you're operating from a fearful place. You're operating from a lower value place, from a place of lack, from a place of thinking that you're not enough for the woman that you want. So how can we change our mindset? We have to start operating from pride and courage. We have to start acting as if we had the pride and the courage, and then the pride and the courage will follow. What did you do yesterday that you're not so proud of? There has to be something. Once you can pinpoint that, once you can pinpoint whatever that is your regret of the day. If every single day you are aware of the regrets you have the day prior, and you make a conscious decision of not making the same regret and instead taking positive action every day, your life will continuously improve. And your clarity, your mental clarity, your peace, everything is gonna go up and up and up. Your frequency will start to go up and up and up. The more regret you have, the more shame you have, the more you go down, down, down on the frequency chart. Instead of having regrets, the way you gain pride is one, by eliminating the regrets, obviously, and two, by doing things that make you proud. So another thing is today, what's something you can do that will make you proud? Here's some easy ones. Get in better shape, do more work, be a better person for other people, work harder on your side business, waste less time, read more. Basically, just do the things you know are to be good. There's things that you know and I know are good. We both know it's good to be in good shape. We both know it's good to have money. We both know it's good to get good sleep. We both know it's good to also wake up early to get shit done before your work and not just wake up late and be late to everything. And that's what you need to do to gain more pride, to go up in the frequency chart. What's another thing we can talk about? We can talk about courage now. Courage is a higher frequency than pride. Courage is the idea that you are willing to take action even though you are afraid of something. Where can this be applied when it comes to women? Approaching. Approaching is something that scares so many men, and I rarely will see a man, or I rarely know men at this point, that can do this in a confident manner, that doesn't creep the girl out, that doesn't come off insecure, and that can actually produce itself into a result. Approaching is something that causes a lot of fear in men because you're afraid of the rejection. You're afraid of her thinking you're weird. You're afraid of the emotional backlash that it can have on you. But if you were to have the courage and take action even though you had fear, now your frequency goes up. Even if she rejects you, even if she doesn't reject you or rejects you, if you continuously take action in spite of fear, your fear goes down and your frequency goes up. Those are the actions you can take to raise your frequency when it comes to dating women. The more you approach, the more you start to better your life and take out the regrets and start to do things you're proud of, the more you're going to operate from a more positive perspective, the more you're going to see the positivity in life and women. Because the idea with getting better at women, it's not about just getting better with women. It's not this one thing. It's about becoming the man that you want to become. It's about becoming a man that you respect. And women can smell that. If they can smell that you respect yourself and you admire yourself, they will follow that lead, basically. If they can smell that you don't respect yourself, you don't admire yourself, they're going to be very repulsed by you. So guys, remember, women don't suck. The world doesn't suck. Nothing sucks. Everything is the way it is, and whether it's good or bad depends on your frequency. If you want more help with approaching, dating, and self-development, and you really want to remove all these bad habits in your life, link in my description to work with me 101. That's all for this video, guys. Have a great day. Peace.